Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video. It is going to be a continuation in my ranking my entire makeup collection series. And today we are going to be ranking my entire cream / liquid bronzer collection. If you're interested in seeing how I would rank my powder bronzer collection, I will have that video linked down below. That is the video I posted last Friday. And then I will also leave my ranking my makeup playlist down below in case you're interested in seeing how I ranked my makeup years prior. I always think it's fun to update this series every single year because my preferences definitely do change, and I've seen that as I've re-ranked certain categories already, as old favorites are now towards the bottom of my ranking list. That being said, if you're interested in seeing how I would rank the 11 cream / liquid bronzers currently in my collection, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project planning content, ranking makeup, or just chit-chatting about makeup, I would love if you'd consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. Okay, so like I do in every single ranking video, I'm gonna rank from my least favorite all the way to my favorite. And similar to my powder bronzer ranking video, this ranking was so hard because I love bronzer in general. It's just like a category of my makeup collection I love. I don't know what it is. I just like to be a bronzed gal. And so I like truly really like all of the bronzers that I'm gonna rank for you. My least favorite, I'm like, if I didn't have this in my collection. Actually, my bottom, like, maybe my bottom 5, if I didn't have them in my collection, I probably wouldn't go out and repurchase them. Like if I lost them, I wouldn't repurchase them, but I still like them and still love having them in my collection. So let's get started with number 11. Bottom of the list is this one from Tower 28. This is the West Coast bronzer, or is it the West Coast bronzer in Bronzino, or is it the Bronzino bronzer in the shade West Coast? I can't remember, but this is what this one looks like. Oh, in rankings past, I have like swatched all of my shades together, but I didn't do that for my bronzer, my powder bronzer, and honestly, I'm feeling like a little bit too lazy to do that. But I do want to specifically swatch this bronzer just so you can kind of get a gist for what I'm about to say as to why this is my least favorite bronzer in my collection. So obviously this looks like almost a bronze highlighter. It's super shimmery, so if you don't like a bronzy like glow, this is definitely not going to be the bronzer for you. It is really beautiful. It definitely has more of like a red undertone to it, so it is truly going to give you that like almost like sunburnt bronzy sort of vibe. I just feel like I have to be incredibly careful with my placement of this. I thought about decluttering this though, and then I pulled it out to use it again for like the summertime, and I've been loving it like on like the back part of my cheek back here. And I can't get myself to declutter it. Like, I do really like it. It's just, of all the other bronzers, I have to be the most careful with how I use this, and it's not something I wear all year round. It's definitely a more summer central focused product for me, so that's why I'm ranking this one at the bottom. Coming in at number 10, I do really like this product. But it's just like, if this wasn't in my collection, it wouldn't be that big of a deal either. It is the Jaclyn Cosmetics cream bronzer in the shade Toasty. This was part of her limited edition summer collection last year, and now I believe she's come out with permanent powder bronzers. I could be wrong. So the shade Toasty was one of the deeper shades. There it is swatched right there. What I will say about this bronzer formula is it's a little bit like, I don't know if chalky is the right word. Like, it's definitely like a cream to powder sort of formula. It can definitely be sheared out to be not as pigmented, but I do feel like I have to like do one side of my face, blend it out, and then do the other. Otherwise, I feel like I struggle to blend this one just because it sets down really quickly, or turns from like a cream to a powder super quickly, and then I struggle to blend it out. It's not my favorite bronzer tone in my collection. It's a little bit deeper than I typically prefer, but I also still have gotten a lot of use out of this year. It was in my Shop My Stash rotation for quite some time, and I'm someone who really likes to lay down a cream or a liquid bronzer and then go over it with a powder bronzer. So I have gotten a lot of use out of this, but when looking at my other cream and liquid bronzers in my collection, this would have to be my number 10. All right, next up, coming in at number 9, we have this one from Milk Makeup. And I will say, when choosing between like a liquid bronzer or a cream bronzer, I would typically tend to prefer a cream just because I feel like liquids are a little bit harder to work with. But this is the Bionic bronzer in the shade Bronzer. I can't remember how many shades there were, but I believe I got the lightest of the either like 2 or 3 shades that they offer. Now I will say this is a really sheer formula, and you kind of have to like shake it up. It comes out like kind of gross. Like at first it comes out with like a little bit of water, and that happens like every time I use this. Yeah, okay. So it's just like a little bit finicky to work with, and then okay, this is just not going well. I'm gonna go grab a paper towel. So obviously there's like a little bit of a functional struggle with me in using this, which is part of the reason I'm ranking this at number 9, but also it is a really sheer bronze formula. So if you're fair, like if you're a super fair, you're probably really going to enjoy this. Although even my sister, who's like the fairest of them all, said that she didn't like this formula because it would like didn't show up on her skin. I will say I can build it up to be like somewhat of enough, and then typically I'm going over it with a powder bronzer as well. When I finish this, if I finish this, I'm sure it'll take some time to finish this, but I wouldn't repurchase it. It didn't turn into a favorite, but I still enjoy it. And then in that similar vein, I have this one from Iconic London. This is the sheer bronzer. Can't remember how many shades were in this one, but I either got like this, I think I got the second lightest shade. This one is a little bit more functional in my opinion than the Milk Makeup one. It has like a better, not applicator, but way to deposit the product, if you will. So this is what this one looks like, and again, it's like a very sheer bronze, but it's beautiful because it offers like this like glistening bronzy glow, and I actually really enjoy the Iconic London one. I would say I just don't get as much use out of it, and again, I prefer a cream to a liquid, so that's why I ranked this one at number 8, but still I think it's a beautiful bronzer, and I can't deny that I think it's beautiful. Coming in at number 7, I have this one from Soul Body. This is ColourPop's sister brand, and I have mine in the shade Light. It's the Face and Body Bronzing Balm. In terms of functionality and ease of use, this is super easy to use. I like it on a brush. I like it, I can use my finger and then like use a beauty blender, however you want to use it. For me, the reason this one's ranking lower is just in terms of shade. Where did that even swatch? Right here. In terms of shade, it's just like not my favorite shade out of all of the cream and liquid bronzers in my collection. And even like swatched, I actually feel like it looks less odd than it sometimes does on my face. Like sometimes on my face, I feel like it just pulls a little bit too warm in like a yellow toned way. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just not my absolute favorite tone. Again, functionality and ease of use, I love it. It's really just a tone that's pushing this one down towards the bottom. Coming in at number 6, I have the Hollywood Contour Wand from Charlotte Tilbury. I have mine in the lighter of the 2 shades, I believe, Fair Medium. This one, love this. I know a lot of people don't like the applicator for the Charlotte Tilbury wands. I actually don't mind it. It is messy and like a little bit annoying to use, but I actually really don't mind the applicator. Although I will say, out of the cheek products, like the highlighters, blushes, and contour wand, it annoys me most. This applicator annoys me most in terms of using it as a bronzer slash contour. Usually I just kind of like, I'll just like kind of like tilt this to the side and like go like that. The reason this one's ranking a little bit lower is because in terms of bronzing slash contouring, I typically prefer to bronze, although I do feel like this is a really nice contour shade in that it's not too ashy or cool toned, if you will. I still enjoy this product. I would slash will repurchase this when I finish, I do believe. So this would be my number 6. Coming in at number 5 is my Rare Beauty bronzing stick. I have mine in the shade Happy Soul, and I really enjoy this product. The only reason this one is ranking at number 5 and not higher is because I have had times where I've struggled to blend this out. Lately I haven't, so maybe it was like the foundation I was wearing at the time, although I did try it with a few different foundations. But I love the shade. It's super creamy, very blendable, very easy to use. Yeah, like this is shearing out and blending out really nicely. Like the first 3 or 4 times I used it though, I remember I was like, why does everyone love this? And mine looks so patchy when I blend it out. But yeah, this is what this one looks like. I completely lost my train of thought. I think it's a beautiful shade, a beautiful formula, very easy to work with. I understand the hype, and this would be my number 5. Coming in at number 4, I have this one from NARS. I actually purchased this last year when this was limited edition, but I do believe these are permanent now to NARS, which is awesome. This is the Sunkissed Bronzing Cream. I have mine in the shade Laguna. I believe there's 4 different shades now. What I will say about this formula is it is very pigmented, and because it's a little bit deeper, I have to be really careful with the amount of product that I apply, but you can sheer it out. And this one I think is also kind of more of like a bronzer slash contour shade for me. So this is what it is, looks like swatched, and then I will sheer it out. This definitely works best for me as like a bronzer in the summertime when I'm more self-tanned. I brought this on vacation with me last year when I went to Florida and like loved it, and really enjoy using this for the summer. This is what's pulled into my Shop My Stash currently, just because there is a lot of flexibility in terms of like the tone and the shade. Like you can sheer it out or you can build it up to be more bronze. So I really do enjoy this one from NARS. I think you get quite a bit of product. I know it's more expensive at $38, but you do get quite a bit of product within the bronzer as well, and I think it's a very good one. Coming in at number 3, this one is newer to my collection, but truly I really love this one. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Bronzer. I have mine in the shade 2 Medium, and this is like a cream to powder, and I just love this so much. There's so much product in here. First of all, probably too much product, but it's an interesting texture and an interesting formula, but this works. I was worried about this with like the swirl. I don't know, I didn't think it was gonna work well with a brush for some reason. I love the tone. It's like the perfect warm tone, bronzy tone for my skin tone for this kind of time, for this time of year. Again, it shears out really beautiful, and then you can build it up if you want more of a bronze, but it does just give this really beautiful glowy sheen to the skin. And I used to like a matte bronzer, but have definitely been into more of like a sheeny glow sort of vibe, if you will. Like it doesn't have to be like glowy, but like a little bit of a sheen to offer like the sun-kissed glow. Like I'm thinking of like the perfume advertisements ads where there's like the model is like wet and like super bronzy and super glowy, and there's like an ocean in the background. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I feel like maybe they would use this bronzer on the models in those pictures, but I love this one from Charlotte Tilbury. Coming in at number 2, I have this one from Chanel. This is the Le Beige Cream Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream. So this one is, I purchased to see if it was a dupe for the ColourPop Soul, or not ColourPop, but the Soul Body one. And I think that the formulas are super similar, and honestly I think the shades are super similar, but for some reason this one doesn't pull as like odd. It's not like that yellowy warm tone in my opinion. It is, you can barely see it right here, but it is pretty sheer. You can build it up somewhat, but this also offers a bit of that sort of like healthy glow. Like it's not a matte cream, and I just love the finish on the skin. I'm a little bit like sad that I do, because this is so expensive, but you also get so much product in this. I know people used to rave about like the old formula before this was reformulated, and I feel like the reformulated version is not well loved among people who used to love the old formula, but I never tried the old formula. It's always fun to try like a super bougie like luxe product from time to time, and thankfully I don't feel like my money was wasted on this one, because I truly do love this one from Chanel. And then coming in at number 1, this is very new to my collection, but I have been using this non-stop from the day that I started testing it, and I have fallen head over heels in love with this cream bronzer. It is from Rose Inc, and it is the cream bronzer in the shade Kauai. Sometimes when I like when I try and pronounce things, I like truly feel so dumb, and I'm like, people who actually are good at sound spelling or just like know what words are probably like, wow, this is truly one of the dumbest girls on the internet. Anyway, this is what this looks like. It is a very easy formula to use. It's a little bit drier, but not too dry. It's not like as creamy as some of my other cream bronzers feel, but I feel like it has a really good wear time to it. There it is, swatched right there. It's like the perfect bronzer contour shade, and it's not too deep. Like it's just such a beautiful shade. It goes on so easily with a brush, with your finger, with a beauty blender. It blends seamlessly, and I have just been in love with this one from Rose Inc. I don't know, I like was doing so good and not buying bronzers this year because I was on a bronzer like very low buy. And then Rose Ink, I've been like just super interested in lately. I also picked up a highlighter from them, which I've been really enjoying. I think the bronzer is so good, and it is my new tippity top favorite out of my cream and liquid bronzer collection. And after that, that is going to wrap up this ranking my makeup installment. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch. Leave me a comment below. I would love to hear what some of your favorite cream and liquid bronzers are. Let a girl know what she needs to purchase next. Other than that, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.